Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. There ain't nothing to this retirement thing, Doc. The other day when Cole stopped by to ring that bell, which, by the way, he was my first partner when I went to the lab over at the chemical plant. Learned a lot from him. He was there with me when I was just learning the ropes over yonder, you know. He showed me a lot of how the routine, you know, how to do stuff, junk like that. I had training before I went there, but it's a different story when you get on the job, you know. You're still a little unsure, not sure how to handle things if they pop up, you know. He taught me a lot of that, and he was a big help to me when I first went over yonder. But that's what I told him when we was over there. When we was packing up, putting the camera up and tripod and putting the chairs back in the bag and throwing them in the truck and stuff. I told him, man, there ain't nothing to this retirement thing. It's not like we've been led to believe. But the thing is, you always hear either two ways, man. You either hear somebody that's barely making it, if they are, or you hear somebody that's got gobs of money and ain't got nothing to worry about. You know, you don't hear a lot about the average Steve out there. You just don't. And those things stick in your mind. You know, well, hey man, I ain't doing very good because, you know, this guy's got, you know, $2.5 million or whatever. You know, and he's living good, but I ain't nowhere near that. Or either you hear the daggone other end of it where people are just struggling to get by. They can't afford their medicine or whatever. And those things sell, man. You know, you put them two out there, man, you're guaranteed to get somebody to watch. But you get something like, you know, what it actually turns out to be like is, you know, nobody really sees that side, man. And he'll be fine, man. He's got a good setup. And most people turn out to be fine, man. You know, it's you know, it's been my experience, man. You don't spend near as much as you think you're going to in retirement. You just don't. Why, I don't know, but you just don't. Sure, them first couple of years you're out, man, that first taste of freedom, a lot of people tend to go a little overboard on it. But eventually they back off after our first few years, especially if you're young and when you retire. You kind of ease into just a normal everyday life. But people don't want to hear that when they're talking about retirement. They want to see all the fancy bells and whistles, or either learn how to survive on $100 a week, you know. And it's just not like that for most people. Most of the ones I know. Hey man, I know both ends. And trust me, I don't want to be on the bottom. I ain't never got the opportunity to be at the top, so that's out. Yeah. But retirement, man, for regular people is just normally, it's just it's a learning process, man. You're constantly adjusting, learning, and tinkering with things. You're probably a lot better off than you think you are, because you are, and you're probably doing a lot better job at it than you think you are, because what you see out there in the world, man. Yeah. You probably never run out of money. That's a big concern for a lot of people. But chances are, man, you got a 5-10 year buffer, I'll bet you, baked into your retirement you ain't even thought about. Most people nowadays plan to retire to their money lasts until they're 90 or 95, and most of us never even see it, never even come close to it. I mean, it's just a fact. So if you're reading 100% at 90 or 90% at 90 or 95, I mean, chances are you got 5-10 years there where baked in your retirement you ain't even going to see. It's yeah, after them first few years, man, when you're learning, you're adjusting. It's a lot of work for making that transition. You know, you put that in there because you've never retired before, man. I hadn't, and I was worried about it because I didn't have no hobbies. I didn't actually retire to anything except to sit on my butt. But I retired from a daggone job. I didn't want to have that responsibility and everything it entails for having a full-time job. Even if I'd been working by myself or for myself, retirement would be a lot better still than that even. It's because when you're working for yourself, hey man, you still got a lot of responsibilities. Your job comes first. You got to keep your customers happy. Give them what they want. In retirement, man, I'm my only customer, me and the baby. It's not that hard to keep us happy. In case you hadn't noticed, we're not exactly the most ambitious retirees you'll ever meet. But you got to be a little patient with yourself, man. You're going to screw up. You're going to make mistakes. You learn from them. You move on. I always have to plan for mistakes because it's guaranteed I'm gonna screw something up. That's why I always say I gotta Steve-proof my retirement. But it ain't near as rough out there as we're led to believe. And it's a great period of life, man. Your golden years truly can be golden if you got to be realistic and honest with yourself, man. It's like that story I told you about that boy I worked with at the string factory. What all he wanted to do. And I'm thinking, man, there just ain't no way in the world you can be able to do all that. Not working here. So, it's it helps if you kind of know what kind of retirement you're looking at. Your expectations are something that's, I don't know whether they're, a lot of people don't have expectations that are theirs when they retire. It's stuff they've seen. And retirement for most people ain't like that. It just isn't. It might start out like that, but eventually everybody eases back into just a normal life. I don't even think of it as being retired now. It's just living for me. It's what I do. So it's, there really ain't much to it, man. You got to give yourself a little time. That experience, you just can't beat it, man. You can plan and plot all you want, but until you put it into action, it's just theory. And you have to make adjustments along the way. You have to tinker with things. Most people are harder on themselves than they are anybody else anyways. I know I am. I'm constantly cussing myself. Dadgummit, Steve, what are you doing, boy? You know better than that. Why'd you do that? Constantly. Where I see somebody else doing it, I'm thinking, hey man, they don't know yet. They don't have enough experience. They ain't learned about it or whatever. I give them a lot more grace than I give myself. And most people are like that. But you just give yourself time, have a little patience. Know that you're going to have to mess with things. It's a plan is not a plan a retirement plan is not something you don't have to fool with constantly, and you do. But the thing is, man, you no longer have there was a responsibility of a full-time job weighing on you. But things in retirement that happen don't bother you near as much as when you had a full-time job you had to worry about. It becomes just a molehill instead of a mountain to you. Has me. It's just, I don't know, man. Retirement's great, man. It's a great time of life, but you just have to go into it with the right type of mentality about it, I believe. Doesn't mean that everything's going to be rainbows and unicorns for you, but you gotta be thinking one way or the other, whether it's going to be suck and be terrible, or whether it's going to be a decent life. It takes the same amount of brain power to think about either one of them, so why not think about the good stuff? As humans, we always tend to think about the bad stuff. It's kind of, I think it's what they call that, flight or flight thing, you know. But I don't know. But I mean, for me, man, I can't say it's any better than than I expected it, because all I wanted out of retirement was to have the same life we had before I retired, not have to work for it. I thought we had a pretty good life, man. We did pretty much whatever the heck we felt like whenever we wanted to, within reason. I wanted to be able to do that when I retired, without having a responsibility of a full-time job. And right now, I mean, we're able to do that. So, I mean, I can't gripe about it. You know, man, our bellies are full, our bills are paid, and we got a few dollars left over for little life hiccups or daggone to enjoy. I mean, we're fairly healthy. I'm the only one in the whole family that takes any kind of medicine. And it's just, I mean, it's just, I think it's the second smallest dose for blood pressure you can get. So, I mean, it's not like we're keeling over any second now. It's just, well, I figure, what more could a working man ask for? I think we pretty much got it made, Doc. I ain't gonna lie. But it's something to think about, man. Understand your expectations. Try and understand yourself before you retire. Give yourself some time. You can't beat that experience, man. I think it'd be a good idea for everybody to make a video of themselves. You can keep it private on here. You ain't got to show it to nobody. You discussing your ideas and thoughts before you go. What you're concerned about, what you're looking forward to, and check back in a year and see how much difference things make to you. How different you are. It's an unreal year of experience in retirement, how much things change on you. And you don't realize it, because it does happen slowly over the course of that year. If you want to, just write it down in a notebook. You know, write the same stuff down in a notebook and look back at it at the end of the year. You ain't going to believe the difference in you after a year. So, but anyways, man, I'm burning daylight. I got a bunch of junk I got to try to do, and it's 12 o'clock now. I'm a little overly ambitious for the day. It being a Friday too. I'm supposed to be taking it easy, but it rained so much this week, I really ain't had a chance to get out and knock around. So I'm going to spend the rest of the day knocking around. But y'all take care of yourselves, man. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you later.